And
Yeah, you can see it now.
yes,
So yeah, let
yes,
me
we
do
can
the
see it now.
introduction.
Yes.
Should I continue? I want to do the introduction.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was asking you do the introduction and then you just kick it off from there. Do you want me to just do the introduction?
Yeah, you were saying some new faces. You're trying to use some new faces.
Yes, I was asking everyone on the call to
Yeah.
just introduce themselves in the chat box while you sort out like the technical issue. But since you're
Yeah.
already back on the call, I think the floor is now
Okay.
yours.
All right, then no problem. All right. So like I said, we're going to draft a demo CD, right? So I'm going to create using ChatGPT here. I'm going to create like a demo persona. Right. Generate. His experience across different roles and companies. Right. So let's just take this and just once it's done, we just get back into it. So the reason why I'm using this is to show um how just to get you guys shoes on how to like apply for how to put together your CV. Right. So as you can see here, let me just copy this. As you can see, okay. So I believe I don't know what the average years of experience of people in the community are. So I went for 7 years to at least give an example of the range of candidates, right? So just going to do a bit of editing here. Okay, so like, while I'm actually editing it, let me actually talk. Let me actually go ahead. So when putting together a CV, first things first, your CV shouldn't be, if it can be a page, if it can be 2 pages, make it 2 pages. If it can be, it shouldn't be beyond 5 pages. If you have someone with 12 years experience, you should filter out um the experiences you don't need and focus on the ones that would actually give you an edge, especially when you're applying for the role. So you can see here, this is about 3 pages, and I'm going to just do a bit of layout to just bring it down to about 2 pages. Maybe also you can also go ahead to reduce the font size. Again, you need as a recruiter, as a recruiter, you need to be able to see. I don't need to scroll so far down to see how much work experience you have, right? I should be able to get just about a summary of your your skills, your experience, maybe for even the first bit. Even your first work experience should be more detailed. Your first Again, if you have 7 to 12 experience, should be more detailed than the previous ones, right? Because it's an indication of um, if you focus on the first three, it just shows that you're actually in line with what the role is, and then I don't need to scroll so far down to figure out if the person is still a good fit. Your first work experience already gives me what I am looking for, right? And most times as well, you should also carry your education to the top, right? Occasionally, most recruiters don't want to scroll all the way down to look at maybe your education or your certifications, right? It's good when scanning through your CV. I already see that, oh, you have a BSc in computer science. I already see that, okay, this person, before even getting to your experience, there's already indication that this person has indication for professional development, education, certifications, right? Then when I even get to your work experience, I'm not even impressed with your experience. So occasionally, it's not a must, but it's good to have your education at the top, especially if you know it to give you an edge. Have your education at the top, have your certifications at the top. So let me just keep things on. This is about 2 pages already. your name, your location. It is important you put out your location. I know most of us like to put like maybe remotes, but eventually, as a recruiter, I'll still want to know where you live. It makes it easier for me. It also makes it easier for you. If your CV meets what I'm looking for, and then we get on the call, and I eventually ask you, where do you stay? And you're like, in another place entirely. The hope that you would have gotten that, oh, this is an interview, let me prepare, I might get the job, will have been crumbled. Because if you had at least kept your location, it will have helped the candidate, the recruiter, and also yourself, which would have given you unnecessary hope. So please make sure you put your location. It doesn't have to be the old address. You can put maybe the country if you're applying internationally. You can put maybe the country, then maybe by the side remote in the brackets. You can put if you are as Nigerian, I usually recommend putting the nearest bus stop, right? So let's say Surulere, Lagos, Nigeria. This is what I usually recommend. You don't need to put the whole address. Then again, next thing you put maybe your phone number. Put your phone number. Sorry about that. Just put.
Hi, Lakunle. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm not sure we can see your face.
you can see my face.
No, we can't.
Okay. Yeah, yes. It's probably the network.
Okay.
Can you see my face now?
All right. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Marvelous. Marvelous. All right. So I want to be as detailed as possible for this city because there's still more information I would like to share with everyone. So again, then just put maybe your number, then your email, then maybe your LinkedIn. For product managers, I would there's not really much creativity for you to maybe have an online portfolio. I don't know about you guys, but typically the external portfolio you would mostly have is on LinkedIn. It's not like unless maybe you're technical, you might have maybe a GitHub account or maybe maybe a GitHub account. But typically it's just LinkedIn. Or is there any other platform for product managers? I don't know if anyone can help me with that. I don't know any, so I don't know if there's any that any of you are familiar with. Yeah, Boulevard. Yeah, you can go ahead. Oh, sorry, Paul. Yeah. Oh, Glassdoor. Okay. So Glassdoor is a simple, is one for all kind of platform. I'm saying something specific to a particular career, like software developers, they mostly use GitHub. UI UX designers, they are known for on Behance. So generally, what I'm saying is, if the only external portfolio for PMs is LinkedIn, so it's good to add your LinkedIn link there. So you can just add it here at the top, and maybe hyperlink it as well. Medium. Okay, you can add that as well. That's actually a very good one, right? To show that you actually do publications. You talk about the strategies and the mechanisms, the techniques you use to about your work. I think that's actually a good one. You can add. Let me add that. You can add your link, your Medium. It's good to hyperlink it so it doesn't. Or Substack. Yeah, anyone. Yeah, anyone. Sure, that works as well. Make sure you hyperlink it and make sure it doesn't take up this link doesn't take up the whole page. Next is let me jump right into the work experience before someone said graceful. I'll definitely check that out. Now let me jump right into the work experience, right? Especially your responsibilities. One thing to note is one thing I note is a lot of responsibilities are bleak. I'm going to use the word bleak because that's to me is as simple as it can be in terms of how to describe the work responsibilities. Most people just come out. Let me use this job as an example, right? So typically, most people just take out the responsibilities from a particular job and just paste it into their CV. So something like take the second one now. lead and develop a team of product managers, engineers, designers, and analysts, fostering. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Let me zoom in a bit as well. So this is fine for the job responsibility, but it is not fine for your job, your responsibility in your current place of work. You need to make it more detailed, more specific as possible. You need to give it more context in what I like to say. So if I'm to put this together, right, I would say it says lead and develop a team of product managers, engineers, designers. Fine. How many product managers? Right? How many engineers? How many designers? What exactly were you leading them on? Right? You said fostering strong collaboration and high quality execution. What kind of execution was it? Like within 2 days? Was it within 3 days? Was it within a month? Was it meant to be? Was it the project that you were working on? Was it something that was meant to be done within 3 months, and then you guys were able to do it within a month? Taking the second one, own, understand, and optimize core everyday banking metrics. What banking metrics? Right? You said own, right? Using this to guide the roadmap, identify issues. I'm not much of a technical person when it comes to product management, so I won't be as, but you should include some technical terms. So if we are to do this, let me just for an example, let me copy just this. For this to let me give it to ChatGPT. Let's see what ChatGPT can come up with. I don't know if you understand. Let me before I continue. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Great. I would like someone to actually give me an example of a responsibility, especially say taking from maybe any of these responsibilities here. Just pick the responsibility and just put it in a way that adds more context to what you did. I would just anyone can go ahead. Does anyone want to do that? Anyone? All right, Becky. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Hi everybody, good afternoon. So I just want to try. So I'm going to talk in the aspect of leading, the responsibility of leading a team. I can
the second one, right?
Yes. So I can say led a team of one front-end engineer, one designer, and also a back-end engineer in delivering the onboarding flow on the app within 2 days. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine. That's actually fine. That's a good start, right? You mentioned the number. You also mentioned what exactly you guys worked on. You said onboarding flow and the duration. So yeah, that's fine. That's a good start. Thank you very much, Becky. Does anyone else want to go? Okay, I'm seeing Benga. Forgive me if I pronounced that wrong. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, how much of a part do keywords play in this? So it's like if I said I successfully led a team, how much of an impact did I make? So I successfully led a team of 2 developers, 1 designer.
So typically, yeah. Hello, can you rephrase that? The network went off a bit.
No, I was saying how much of a part do keywords play in this? So like instead of just saying I successfully led a team of 2 developers, 1 engineer or whatever do you get what I mean?
Yeah, so keywords are nice for maybe the ATS platforms, and most times I would actually show a start to this. Most times they don't really hold much power, but they are nice for the ATS platform to pick from, right? Maybe when you're searching for your CV, but typically if you're going to give more context to what you did, you're already by default adding keywords. So keywords like maybe success, everybody uses successful, but when you now start using keywords like she said, onboarding flow, right? When you start putting more concentration on the keywords that actually matter, then that will definitely get you maybe sifted out from the rest of the candidates. So maybe not focus on lead or successful or orchestrated, coordinated. Focus on the technical terms, and then maybe that you should definitely look at that. But do you want to help us? Do you want to help us rephrase one of the responsibilities? That was actually why. Uh, hello, Benga, are
Um,
you there?
yeah. Let me think about this on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Just pick one and just maybe yeah.
So I can't see this. Let me think
Okay.
about it. Let
Wow.
me think about it. I don't understand. Based on what you just
Think
said.
about it. No problem. No problem. Then one more person. Yeah, no problem. So then let's have Favor. Favor, are you there? You can go ahead.
Yes, please. Can you go back? Okay. So let me see this on, understand. Okay. Um, okay.
So if you were
So
to give it more context, right?
yeah.
What exactly did you own? Yeah.
Okay. So let me say we prioritized the product roadmap based on
What
okay.
products?
Um okay, let me use remittance. So we
Okay.
prioritized
Marvelous.
the
See?
remittance remittance product roadmap
Okay.
based on DAU, based on the users
Marvelous.
daily active
That's
usage,
good. That's a
um,
good keyword right there.
um, um, which led to an improvement in, what can I say? Okay, monthly recurring revenue by 30% within 2 months, something like that.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not really strong for those by 30%, by 80%, because most times those things are not necessarily quantified. Because if I ask you how, like what was it before, and
Yeah,
how will you get that 30%?
yes,
How will
it's
you
a
get that
bit
80%?
tricky.
So
It's a bit tricky when people write
yeah,
all those 100 and something% because it might give you an idea that it wasn't doing so well before. That's why that number was so
exactly.
big.
So I'm not particular about those percentages. Mostly the context. So now you mentioned the remittance. Give more context. You mentioned DAUs, and I understand what you actually did there, right? So again, back to your responsibilities. Try to give it as much context as possible, right? Because I've had interviews where I've had to the clients actually pick certain candidates based on what they kept in their responsibilities, right? I think there was maybe a particular HR analyst role, and then just the candidate was selected because he mentioned he had recruited for about 10 10 to 27, no, 50 to 70. I think he employed a sales agent for a company for about 50 to 70. That was more detailed than the other candidates that they are than the other candidates to their CV, right? So, like I said, more context to your responsibilities, more information, it will definitely help you get there faster, right? All right, so let me just quickly see what ChatGPT can come up with. Let me just feed it this and try to prompt it well. Let me see. Okay, I've already given it. Let me just see. As work achievement, more context. Right. So while it's doing that, typically, like I said, it's just your responsibilities, the work responsibilities. Okay, I can see it already even gave us some information here. Let's go back to that. Let's see. So it says built and led a high-performing cross-functional product squad. Okay, there's some context. They develop and coach product managers who own and actively optimize core. They are still looking bleak to me. Or use the combination of quantitative, still looking bleak, right? So ChatGPT is not much of a help, but I hope you guys understand that part when it comes to your responsibilities, right? So I think it's something you should actually write down. Then maybe give ChatGPT to rephrase, to properly put it into maybe because most times when you write it down, it's maybe 1 to 5 to 10 words. But with ChatGPT, you can probably prolong it. So I think you should probably write that down, write your responsibility, your work achievements down. Then if you not put it in more sentence, you can give ChatGPT to do that. So typically, this is how your CV should look. Information about you, your professional summary. Your professional summary should also carry the similar way of phrasing when it comes to your responsibilities. It should have more context, more information, and be more specific, right? There's nothing wrong with having this kind of CV. This is, let me zoom out a bit so that you see. You can see there's really not much style to it. It goes straight forward, and I think this applies. This resonates with the Harvard. What is it again? This resonates with what most platforms usually go for. The kind of CV to go for, right? There's nothing wrong with having a simple CV, a simple CV like this. You can, if you want to, you can add color. As you can see, some of these CVs are these are examples. Straightforward, one page, and as basic as possible, right? So now, things to not do on your CV, right? Things to not include on your CV. Your age, right? Your age, your sex, your nationality. Most of this information are not included in the CV. Okay, someone asked. Okay, let me just quickly pull that up. Sorry. Since we have to be mindful about CV length, how do we balance our work achievements, being concise, wordy enough, while trying to provide context? Great. You just need about five bullet points, 5 for each work experience, 5, 6 for each work experience, and that is all. If any lower 4, and that's enough for each work experience, just 5 bullet points, 5 to 6 bullet points, and you're good. You don't need to anything more than that. It's also good, but if you anything more than that, it's not necessary. So 4 to 6, 4 to 6 bullet points for each work experience. Yeah. Okay. Nami, forgive me, said the colors don't play well with ATS. You can use it if you want to stand out in the sense of, for me, I see a lot of black and white CVs, black and white all the time. So if you come up with something colorful, just the page being colorful, I might, give it more attention. For the ATS, they are not really looking at the colors. They're just picking out. They're extracting the text from your CV, right? So I don't have data to back that up, but I know for a fact it's mostly just the text they are going for in your CV. As I said, something as simple as this. Now to things that shouldn't be on your CV. Like I said, your age, your sex, date of birth, nationality. Typically, this I don't know if most of the international participants on this group will know for a fact. They only ask for religion shouldn't be on your CV as well, people. For a fact, you guys don't ask for the sex, the age, but in Nigeria sometimes some rules ask for it. But like I said, we're just going for like a basic CV, straight to the point, nothing out of the ordinary. What else shouldn't be on your CV? Any education or experience that doesn't align with the role. If you're going for a PM and maybe before you ventured into being a PM, you were a social media person, take it off. You did maybe 1 or 2 online courses on social media, take it off, right? If you moved from a particular industry from the career switch, you need to take off the previous career certifications, regarding that previous career switch and not put it in the new one, because you are trying to tailor your current CV to a particular role, to a particular career. So anything else needs to be taken off. Same thing goes for education, same thing goes for certificates. Skills as well, right? Anything not relating to the role, it should be taken off. Yeah, leadership, volunteership, those ones are definitely, again, they are needed. Okay. Someone says, sorry, would you advise capping experience to say at least 5 years? I don't really understand, but depending on the role, please, depending on the role, if it asks for 12 years experience, if that's for 7 years, please indicate your years of experience. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't indicate your original years of experience. I don't see any, if you have 7 years experience, please put 7 years. If you have 12 years experience, please put 12. But don't apply for like 5 years experience role. Don't apply for I think okay. Most of the questions have to come in later. Let me just really cover up this CV side. Right. Again, leadership, any volunteership role that you've done in the past, if they're essential to what you're doing. If for PM, let's say you volunteered at PMHelp and you apply for a PM role, definitely add that to your CV. That's essential because it's relating to the role. What else? So practically, that's just about it. Focus on your work responsibilities, give it more context, and you'll be on the right path. Okay, I think, can you please suggest some tips on customizing resumes matching the JD, please? Okay, just hold on, give me a moment. Someone says, can you please suggest some tips on customizing resumes matching the JD? As much as when it comes to tailoring your CV to a JD, as much as I am up for that, I would say if you are a PM and if you are a simple PM and you want to tailor it to maybe a technical PM, there's really not much customization. You don't need to change the whole CV to fit the job. Just maybe the summary, some work responsibilities. And this is something you can definitely do yourself. Fine, you can feed both the JD and your CV to ChatGPT to pick out what the similarities, right? And then now add that to your CV. But most times when it comes to say customizing your CV, there's really not much, especially if you are there's really not much customization, especially if you have if your CV is set, if you have a very good CV, very good work experience. So how do we tailor the professional summary? You can use AI for this. But like I said, hello? Is someone there? But like I said, there's really not much tailoring, there's not much summary. For instance, an accountant, let's say there's an accounting role and maybe a financial executive wants to apply. There's really not much difference between those roles. You just what would just be the difference is maybe just change the job title from accountant to finance executive, from finance executive to accountant, and then submit your CV. Maybe tweak again some responsibilities in the JD that were indicated in the JD, add it to your work responsibilities. Okay, what if you're transitioning from, just give me a moment. What if you're transitioning from a different industry? What if you're transitioning from creative to healthcare? You need to put indications. The questions are getting too much. Let me, after this one, I'm going to continue. Then we'll have all the questions at the end. So someone asked, if you're transitioning from a creative industry to maybe healthcare, indicates this is called transferable skills, transferable skills, and also maybe similar softwares and platforms that both industries use. If it's too much research, again, I'm not really one for, you can use AI. I'm not really, before you jump right into AI, you can settle down to figure out what's research a bit on, what are the similarities between the industries, and then now include that in your CV, right? Okay, I think that will be all for the questions. The next questions will be after I'm done. So let me quickly pull up. Let me quickly pull this up. Okay, so crafting is very strong. A strong thing from scratch. What belongs in a CV and what doesn't. Structuring your experience for clarity and impact, of course. Common mistakes recruiters instantly reject. Now, let's go to creating a winning cover letter. For cover letters, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really one for cover letters, but they are essential for applications, for job applications. Most times, recruiters ask for them either via the when you're applying on maybe Workday or Greenhouse, or they indicate it in the instruction, include the cover letter. I am not one for cover letters. I mostly jump straight into the CV. But if you want to create a cover letter, I would recommend, sorry, you take the information you've already kept in your CV, the ones with the responsibilities with context, right? You use that to draft a very good cover letter because it won't make your cover letter bleak. It won't contain the same information about you doing this, collaborating with engineers. It's now even more specific than the everyday cover letter. So the cover letters are simple. They address the company, dear hiring manager, dear recruiter, I'm applying for this role. This is what I've done, which you pick from your responsibilities, which you've already done. You've already taken time to figure out what are your responsibilities, your work achievements. Include that in the body. Include that again. Then include the skills, education in the second paragraph, and then you just you sign out. So that's as simple as a cover letter as can be. I'm not one for cover letters. Other recruiters might be, but generally, there's really not much data for me to say. I'm going to actually do a bit of share a bit of stats to say that cover letters, if they are really much of a determinant when getting a job, right? So yeah. Next is understanding how recruiters view CVs, how resumes are scanned, filtered, shortlisted, what actually makes the CV stand out globally. So I think I've already covered this. So I'm going to use data from here on. There's a particular company, Hunter. They are a job tracking platform. Not necessarily doing advertising for them. It's just that they did a bit of some great. They gathered some great data to help with most of the things I'm saying. This is from Q. This is sorry. This is for the year of 2025. And as you can see here, they have insights on time to first offer, how long it takes for some jobs to get some candidates to get their first offer, the most popular job sites, um, salaries by role. So I would actually send this link. You guys can check this out. This will definitely corroborate with what I'm saying when it comes to applying for jobs. Let me jump right into this one. Most popular job sites. I think this is where we should look at. Now, as you can see, Google comes out as number one, which is by default because that is mostly the platforms that people use, but it's not necessarily the one to go to because most times they don't have the platform. So of course you use Google. But here, as you can see, on the third, the company in third place is well found compared to LinkedIn that is about maybe 8, right? Well found, I think well found actually gets more jobs and closes more roles compared to LinkedIn. Fine, you say a lot of candidates are on LinkedIn, but I think well found, according to this data, as is the third rating for most popular job sites. I don't know if anyone knows if most people know well found. Does anyone know well found here? Great. So I would recommend actually going to well found to look for roles. Right? They according to the data again, they have they are the most popular job sites. Let me just quickly pull up. Let me see. So Google Job leads the group with about 11%, closely followed by and well found, right? So I think if you are looking for a role, please move to well found. Yeah, you might say LinkedIn is where most of the recruiters are, but then again, most of the companies in well found are startups, startups company, so you definitely know that if the data corroborates it, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't try it out. Next, we're going to look at what's the second start? There was another start I was going to focus on. Yeah. So when it comes to sorry. Yeah, when it comes to applying for jobs, I think this an interview. Our LinkedIn almost all the time. I'm looking for the time it takes for companies to respond. I can't remember what it is, but I will show this. Let me show it right. Let me actually share it right now so that you guys can so definitely take a look at read go through it. It is backed by data because they do a lot of they track most of these things, and you I think they have about maybe 4,000 people that fill the form, so it's definitely a good source of information. The next is, sorry if I'm a bit in a rush. So yeah, now job strategies. I think this is the most important part. Now that you have your CV and you have your cover letter, I'm going to focus on 3 job strategies. The first one says referral and networking. Referrals and networking. For me, you need to use the people you've either worked with or the people that you know I've worked with. Removing LinkedIn, I'm talking more of a personal relationship. People you maybe worked with previously in your previous place of work, or people you've met at events, maybe people you've met in communities. It definitely helps if they are the ones that it's faster, to be honest with you. So I'm not saying keep tabs on everybody, but it's good to check up on people, right? That you never can tell where to come from. I've met people at so many events where after 3-6 months, that's when like they get back to me like, oh, this is what they're looking for. As a recruiter, it sometimes takes time for clients to come back. So I just actually casually look, right? And they usually get back mainly because I usually check up on them and reach out to them on what exactly they need. Referrals and networking is very important. You never can. It's so spontaneous that I can't even pick on what strategy we should do. All I can say is always reach out to people, check up on them, connect with people any way possible. And one way or another, you definitely get not necessarily, maybe not the job at the beginning, but you might get a gig, and then from there it climbs to up something permanent. Now, second one is inbound pipeline and personal branding. This is mostly for people that are public facing, for people that want to share their information to the public. You can, of course, post on LinkedIn. Someone also mentioned Medium, sharing your work on Medium. I know a lot of people that have, I know a lot of people that this works. Mainly just sharing their ideas on LinkedIn. They usually get DMs. Oh, we love what you talked about. Can we just meet? Can we just have a conversation on this? Not only on LinkedIn, also share on WhatsApp. Also share on any other social media platform that you have like direct access to people. Someone from somewhere can just remember that. Oh, I remember maybe Shola used to post this stuff about this thing, and oh, I can recommend it to her. People just knowing what you do is, to be honest, it's kind of still works under the referrals and networking. But people just knowing what to do will definitely, one way or another, get you some sort of lead, some sort of job in advance, right? And lastly, cold emailing and outreach. This works for this works as a strategy on maybe if you are how should I put this? If you want to reach out to people on LinkedIn, if you want to reach out to recruiters on LinkedIn, if you maybe apply for a job and you want to hear from them, so you can always reach out to recruiters on LinkedIn. Use maybe platforms like Apollo to get emails. to get emails of recruiters, CEOs, you can try this. But you need to do this in bulk. If you are to do this, maybe send to about maybe 100 CVs in a week. Sorry, email, sorry, in a week. And your cover letter has to be, now this is where your cover letter actually matters. It's not just like the typical cover. You need to have something more tailored, more fine-tuned to making sure this works. Right. Overall, I would say referrals and networking is the best. Personal branding also works if you are someone that likes to share your work, right? There's nothing wrong with doing that. You can share. Within 3 months, you would start seeing some sort of feedback from people. Like, oh, I heard you're into this stuff. Somebody recommended, somebody shared in your CV, and you're into, you create, you're a PM and that kind of thing. Before you know it, you're already engaged with some sort of work. And lastly, the numbers game. When I say the numbers game applies to everything: the job application, the referral, the branding. The more taking the cold email, for example, the more you send out, the more your chances. If you send out about 100 CVs, 100 emails, sorry, a week, and maybe you get 5 responses. So that means if you continue that for a month, that's around 500 emails a month, and around 25 responses. And definitely within that 25, there will definitely be an offer. Now, when it comes to job applications, most of us use this AI job application platforms where they send like about 1,000. That is stressful. Let me be honest with you. That is stressful for you. That is stressful for even the AI. It's stressful for you because if you don't get any response back, you are, yes, definitely. I believe, Sean, will it be recorded and shared? With the events? Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you very
it's
much.
been recorded.
All right. When it comes to job applications, you can use those AI agents to apply for about maybe 1,000 job applications, but that's stressful, and that gives you unnecessary hope that, oh, I'm going to, if I do this for like a month, I'm going to get a job. It might work for some, it might not work for some. If you want to do bulk applications, focus on. I'm actually going to go to share. But let me share my screen. This is from the recruiter at Zapier. I don't know if you guys know Zapier. She mentioned that mass applying is just a bad strategy. I'm going to use this is actually a good example to show you that it's not just me that actually say this. Limit yourself to 5 applications each day and be extremely selective. Don't just send 1,000 PM to 1,000 PM roles, 1,000 applications to 1,000 PM roles. Focus on as you said, 5 applications. Be extremely selective about picking the perfect 5 jobs. That increases your chance, especially if you are experienced, especially if you have industry. This is something that you definitely select yourself, especially if you have that industry experience, especially if you have the skills they need. Pick out the perfect 5 jobs. You can do 10 in a day. That's up to you. Between 5 to 10 applications a day, you're on the right track. Leave nothing on the table when you submit the app. If they ask for a cover letter, submit it. If they ask for a portfolio, submit it. If they ask for anything else, submit it. Make sure your resume is aligned. Answer every question thoughtfully. Find the questions might be too much, but make sure you like answer. You're actually taking your time to actually apply for these roles. This will definitely work. And said, lastly, reach out to 3 people. Yeah, reach out to 3 people at the company: a department leader, hiring manager, a recruiter, and send them a message letting them know 2 reasons why you are a strong match for the job. Do this for a month. I think there's someone that shared this as well. There's so many, I can share so many people on LinkedIn that have come to post. They actually track the application. And if you are doing 10 jobs a day, that's around 50 a week. And let's say like 200 in a month. Most of those people that post this their stats, they in a month they go for about 200, they apply for about 200 jobs a month. I actually checked this for about 4 posts. 200 in a month, and within the next 2 months, they did that for about 2 months, and they're able to get a job. 200 in a month. That's not too much compared to those AI agents sending about 1,000. So the numbers game really matters, but don't just flood yourself with don't just start pumping yourself with job applications. Be selective on, you can again go to well found, be selective on the kind of roles you apply, and I'm sure you definitely get following the same stats, the same data that is here, that have also some people have also used as well. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't work for you. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't work for you. Then lastly, okay, yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, tracking, iterating and improving your results over time. How many applications you sending, tracking and iterating your results over time. I think I've practically just about said it all. And lastly, yeah, I think I'm done. So I think you guys can shoot your questions. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you can shoot your questions. Should we indicate the career transition in the company? Yes, you can, or in the cover letter. Either indicate in the summary or in the cover letter. All right, so we have a raised hand. I have Becky. Yeah, Becky, you can go ahead.
Hi, Lakunle. I hope I pronounced the name properly.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for this wonderful and amazing section. I have a question. So
Sure.
when we're taking our masters, like my own masters, I'm currently studying digital business management, and there are a couple of use cases whereby real life experience, we're working with real-time organizations, right? I mean, the last work I had to do, I had to like think of how to help digitalize their business, which is sort of related to product management. So in what section can we add those experiences? Because to me, it's also an experience.
Yeah,
What
it is.
section can we add the experience? Should I call it a work experience or a school experience? Or
Were you getting paid for it?
unfortunately, I wasn't, but I got credits for it.
Okay, so you can put that under projects. You can create an entire different section for it for projects or volunteership. But I think projects is fine.
Okay, project.
So you still give it the same way you'd do a work experience. The job title, what you did there, your job title, the duration where you work, and then what exactly you did there. You'll be more detailed, you give it more context.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Next I have Daniel. Hello, Daniel.
Hello, Lakunle. Good afternoon. Thank you for your
Good
effort
afternoon.
and the team as well. I just have a few questions. Looking at transiting into product management, I got my first degree from Caleb University. I studied business admin, and I already
Nice.
enrolled on TS Academy to go
Nice.
in product manager. So I want to know if you can take me as a mentee. Maybe I can learn under you for quite some time, pending the time I finish my study and transition fully into product management. Thank you. I would really appreciate the opportunity.
I'm not really a PM. I'm not a recruiter. I don't know if you
Actually,
know.
I'm not looking for a pay for a look. I'm just looking for someone I can get first-hand experience from, maybe learn from, guide, receive guidance, and so on. So it's not like I'll be paid or something. I just want practical experience. I,
Yeah,
I,
but
I would really appreciate that.
that's what I'm saying. I'm more what I do is more or less relating to recruitment, and you seem to be more or less in line with product management, right? So I would say it won't likely be a good match. Even if I give you the work experience, it won't be a good match because you're already in line to for the PM career. So what you need is a mentor, somebody to take you up on maybe a PM intern role or maybe even business analysis. You understand? Just to start with. So I won't be the best option. maybe Sheil can help here. Maybe there's someone on the community that maybe she can
I
connect you
would,
with someone in the community that's willing to. Yeah,
I would appreciate that, sir.
yeah, no problem. I'll speak to Sheil. Daniel. Okay. Who else? I'm getting some questions in the chat. Um, any more questions? Does anybody have any questions? Okay, someone asked, Abby asked, is it okay to add a career break to your CV? I've not necessarily come across a lot of CVs that have that career break, but it's best to take it off. You can keep that gap of maybe about 2 years, or you can cover it up. I can't really say depending on the scenario, but usually if it's maybe a recent career gap, maybe you are trying to come back into the work experience, sorry, into the workforce. There's really no need to put the career break, because during the interview they definitely ask you, oh, you stopped working around this time. Why do you want to come back? So you just explain the reason why you would want to come back. But if it's like maybe 2, 3 years before, you can take it off. I don't know if that helps. No
Yes,
problem.
it does. Thank you.
No problem. Any more questions? Yeah, let me go back up a bit. Someone asked, yes, how to tackle AI plagiarism when applying. ATS systems companies sometimes, yes, they do. They do filter you out. They already know a lot of people use AIs to apply for roles. So it is assumed that they also use AI to also filter out candidates. But like I said, like I said earlier, if you want to do keywords, focus on the technical terms, the ones that not just successful, not just lead, not orchestrated. Focus on technical terms, and that will definitely filter you out from the candidates, the pool. So as a recruiter, what two things catches your attention on a CV? What two things? Again, the work experience, how detailed it is, and how arranged the CV is. I don't have to for people that maybe have 12 years experience, I don't have to scroll all the way to the bottom, and for it's just the work experience, because that's what I go for. If it's a PM role, I jump straight to what you've done. I jump straight to your years of experience, the duration of work, and then I now look at everything else. Maybe the arrangement of your CV, where you stayed, your education and all that. But I just jump straight to the work experience. So Eunice asks, where can we get the emails of certain companies or recruiters to send out coding to students? So there are so many platforms. I'm not trying to market for any, but I think there's Apollo. Even LinkedIn. I think you can even download LinkedIn via their AI, their recruiter. When you sign up for their recruiter platform. There's Apollo. There's Rocket Search. There are so many. Rocket Search. There's Lush. I can't remember one. Lush. Yeah, Lusha. Yeah. Yeah. So there are so many, right? There's I can't recommend anyone. So, but based on maybe ask around which one most people have used, and you can definitely you can even find not just even recruiters. Okay, someone even mentioned DB and Hoovers. Not just recruiters, you can find founders, CEOs, department heads, operations. You can get their emails, work email, personal email. You can use any of these platforms for that. Yeah. Does anybody have any more questions? How does a fresh graduate with just the youth service scheme put out their resume with barely any work experience? You need to show indication. Early graduates doesn't mean you shouldn't have previous work experience. Maybe you worked while you're in school. Maybe you've done volunteer stuff while you're in school. Maybe even your NYC, where you served was maybe you didn't just work in the government, right? So, but removing that, I'll mostly look at your previous work experience, your previous what you've done previously, volunteership, leadership, then your skills or even certifications that you've done that you've engaged. Maybe you are a accounting graduate and you've not done ICANN or even started. You just have to start your ICANN. These days, it takes time to. These days, a lot of people do things early. So if you are saying you're a fresh graduate with no work experience, compared to people that actually have done something previously, I don't see any reason why. Unless maybe you also show some sort of maybe during the interview, I decided to maybe give you a chance, and then you show some sort of enthusiasm for the role, then maybe you selected. But typically, just by your CV, I'll look at what you've done previously, what skills, what certifications, trainings you've done previously. And that's it. Ngozi said, will it be possible to share a CV template after the session that we can use as a real life reference while working? You can get, I think Harvard has, yes, Harvard have their, just search for, yeah, Harvard ATS friendly templates. Where is it? Yeah, you can, or just follow this style, just a simple style. The name, professional work experience, doesn't, nothing out of the ordinary. Let me see this. So yeah, you can definitely get that. Just Google Harvard ATS friendly template. Nami says, with a rise in the use of AI as a recruiter, how can you tell a fake versus real candidate from a CV? That is telling whether those experiences are. I can't actually. So if you include maybe fake company, just like I showed you, just like I just have had ChatGPT come up with a dummy, I can't. Just from a CV, I can't. Right? But I have tools for that.
So,
They are definitely.
yeah, I was just coming to the tools. Obviously, with the rise in AI, the use of AI,
Yeah,
there's also the rise of applications and tools to track
yeah, yeah.
the use of
So
AI almost. So,
so
without that,
there's a
just by looking, you can tell.
yeah, there's a tool I use that once I upload your CV, it searches for the company. So it just gives me an hyperlink and I just click on the company. So if it brings out the company, marvelous. If it doesn't, I know that okay, maybe
So it's
yeah,
not
this
even
is a
about the
fixed.
company now, right? Let's say you've even worked for that company, your education is true, all of those details are true. But when it comes to the actual responsibilities, without, going all the way to interview to find that out, how can you tell that, okay, this candidate actually is this by obviously if those
I,
details are much on LinkedIn, sometimes as a recruiter, you look at their CV and then you go on LinkedIn and there's some
so
mismatches.
I can't. Yeah. Okay. I'll just focus on the CV. I won't be able to tell. But when I maybe try click on your profile or maybe on LinkedIn, I check you out online. I check you out online, and then there's the discrepancy. I know that okay, fine. This candidate has maybe fake work experiences. Most people when they again another reason why putting together using AI to like tailor your CV kind of messes things up. When you use AI to customize your CV, and then I click on your LinkedIn, and then what's on your LinkedIn is different from what's on your CV. That's where the problem is because you didn't if you have to use AI if you use AI to be changing your CV all the time, that means you also have to go change your LinkedIn all the time for every job. And if it changes the job title from this to this, it says maybe you are a simple PM manager, and then you change your job title to PM principal manager or something, and then it gives you an extensive work experience, work responsibilities. Then I go to your LinkedIn and I see something simple. I get suspicious. So again, why I don't really recommend using AI to like redraft your CV. But again, I also use LinkedIn to verify. So yeah, I definitely use LinkedIn. There's a particular platform I use. I can't remember the name right now, but if I search for your name, it brings out all your data points across every platform. It brings you out on LinkedIn, it brings you out on Twitter, it brings you out on GitHub, it brings you out on just about any platform that you're on. So you can always verify if you are legit or not. Okay, someone that's yes, you're expected to tailor the CV to the role, but not where you change, how should I put it? You, like I said, if you have your CV, if you've settled down to draft your CV, listed out the work responsibilities, right? Give it more context. There's really not much tailoring you need to do for any other role. If it's a different industry, just indicate in the summary you're interested in working in industry or you worked in this industry. But if you're not going up, if you're not give AI, it will change the whole responsibilities. Say something you did that you didn't do, give you an entirely different job title. Do you understand? I don't know what was that. Yeah, are they money, right? So if you've settled down to draft your CV, there's really not much. Just maybe change the job title. Maybe it's an accountant role, change it to finance executive. If it's a PM role, change it to. If it's a PM role, change it to product manager. If it's a business analyst role, you can change to business analyst. Just about the similarities in job title, but not where it changes the summary, it changes the skills, it changes the whole leadership and everything. Yeah.
Sorry, luckily, just going back to what you just said, if you're saying that we're changing job roles,
Yeah.
are you saying we're changing job titles? And again, linking it back to your LinkedIn, your CV has to match for authenticity, it needs to match your LinkedIn profile. So that means for every application you make, do you have to then constantly go back to your LinkedIn to make sure that whatever you have on your CV matches your LinkedIn? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I do. When I say change the job title, not where you give it like a senior role. If it's an accountant and the finance executive, there's really not much difference. A back-end engineer and maybe a Python developer, there's not much difference.
I see. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
project manager and like
So
product delivery lead type of thing. Okay, I get what you mean.
you understand? So that's what I mean by changing it. Not where
Okay.
it
So
gives you
not blowing it out of proportion like CXO when you were
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I mean.
Got it.
Any more questions? And if there's no more questions, I believe I can hand it over to Sean. Is anyone else there? Does anybody else have any more questions? All right. So I've shared, I don't know, I will share the link to this. You guys should definitely, I would recommend actually coming here to read up about the stats on what works, especially on what works and what doesn't work when it comes to job applications. You guys should definitely check out WellFound. Again, according to the stats you can see here, you definitely check out WellFound. Maybe create an account and begin applying on there. Just have your CV, have your cover letter ready, and you're good to go. All right. Thank you guys very much. Thank you very much, Sharon.
All right. Thank you so much, Lakunle, for taking your time to share out of your wealth of experiences with us this afternoon. A very big thank you. And to everyone who also engaged actively, shared questions, or rather responded and even asked questions. And just to add to a bit, because I know that I saw some couple of questions and I just wanted to add that over here at PMHelp, we also do offer some exclusive offerings to our community members. And if you're not yet a part of the PMHelp community, I already dropped the Slack link so that you can also join our community. I know I saw some feedback about asking for CV templates and some few other things, right? So we do offer CV reviews for our community members, and we do this actually for free. So I mean, this is one of the opportunities that you get to stand out, or rather get through, right? Being a part of the PMHelp community. And I think Daniel also raised a concern about
you can add me to the group for
Hi, Lakunle.
Yes, you can add me to the group for the CV reviews. I'm happy to give a comment on CV. Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Lakunle. All right, and I know Daniel also raised concern about having a mentor that could also guide him in his PM journey. That's also something we do at PMHelp community. So you can also just join our community because we do offer so many things that you don't want to miss. Okay, Ebube is saying, please share the link. Okay, give me a minute. I'm going to share that shortly. And not to take much of our time, if we can recall while I was speaking earlier, I spoke about an exclusive announcement that I wanted to share. During the start of the conversation. So based off of today's conversation and based off of what we've seen happening both in our community and within the product management industry, I'm so excited to announce that we are actually going to be introducing 2 initiatives. But then before I actually kick off, I'm not seeing anybody showing any form of excitement. The fact that I'm about to, thank you, Becky. Thank you so much, Favor. Okay, please let the emojis keep coming in. Let's keep coming in as I unveil what this amazing initiative is all about, because trust me, you're really going to learn a lot. You're really going to pick so much being a part of the PMHelp community. So please let the emojis keep coming in. So we would be introducing 2 initiatives, which is very, very dear to my heart. This is something that we've seen that we think would really help people that are navigating the product management industry, right? And even in terms of becoming much better in the industry. So we are introducing the job search support. So the job search support is more like an initiative where we want to be able to help people out there, you and even myself, and for everyone looking to maybe transition from one industry into the product management industry, or you are probably in the project management industry, right? But you are looking forward to growing beyond your current career role. So we have a job search support initiative, which is going to be happening February 3, and it's going to be happening every first Tuesday of the month, right? So you don't want to miss out on this amazing opportunity. So remember, if you're not yet a member of PMHelp, please do right now to join our community. Then the second one I also wanted to talk about is also the interview prep support. So this is also like a very great initiative, because this is where you get to have a one-on-one session, more like a mock interview session, where you speak to people that would help you grow your interview skills. And this is something that would also be commencing February 4, and it's going to be happening every first Wednesday of the month. So you see that we do have every one of you in mind. We do take our community members very, very dear to us. So this is me nudging you and also begging you again that if you are not yet a part of the PMHelp community, please, now is the time for you to join our community, to be able to just seek that to be able to just enjoy the opportunities and the values that we do offer to every one of our community members. And before I finally call it a wrap, I just want to say very, very thank you again to everyone for taking your time to join today's session. To our dear speaker, thank you so much, Lakunle. And to my dearest leadership, that's Emeka and Obi, a very big thank you for the amazing things you've been doing at the back end. And to also my colleagues on the call, Green, and everyone, I want to say a very big thank you to you all. So please let's not forget to share our feedback based off of how today's session went. If there's also something that you think we can do to improve this session, it would really be very great. So this is where I say a very big thank you, and I call it a wrap. Please do have a lovely weekend. Enjoy yourself. Okay, I can see Ayo asking the question, speaking about having a mentor. How can I seek for a mentor? Thanks. Okay, Hayo, please, you can just join our community via Slack and reach out to me, and I'll take up your question. So do have a lovely weekend. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you, Abby. Bye. Bye, everyone.